So number one, arbitrary. Number two, inconsistent. These are contradictions. And when a detective questions somebody or a lawyer gets somebody, they want to try to get an inconsistency in their story. Right? You said you were at your apartment at 10 o'clock, but this camera caught you 3 miles away at this place at 10 o'clock. Can you explain that? So we want to get that inconsistencies. Two big ways. Number one are the logical fallacies, that people just contradict what they say in different ways. Okay? We're going to recommend a resource for you, a book that we have out there. The author does a great job with all these fallacies. These are inconsistencies in the way of thinking. So some of these are sweeping generalizations, right? Oh, you Christians, all Christians are hypocrites, liars, legalistic, unloving people. That's a sweeping generalization. That's not true. Some Christians are these things, but not all, right? Ad hominem attacks. They're not dealing with a substance, but it's argument directed towards the person, right? So they attack you, not what you're saying. You can have a great argument, but since they don't like you or you're this certain kind of person, then that kind of nullifies the argument. That's not true. You may have learned algebra from a teacher who turned out to be a bank robber later on. It doesn't make the algebra less true. It's still true, even if the person's not, right? But it's a way of getting around dealing with the substance by attacking the person. Appeal to fear. The planet's going to die in 10 years unless we change radically. Wow, what's that, right? We're all going to be dead in 10 years unless these changes take place. That's a fallacy. It's fear not based on solid evidence, but used as a motivator to get others to accept your idea. Don't go in that closet, you say to the little kid. There's a monster in that closet. You're appealing to fear, right? Inconsistencies. Actions speak louder than words. That's another thing. What do people do? How do they act? They can say what they will, but how do they act? Again, we need to point these things out. I don't believe in God. A person's a staunch unbeliever, but they're in a desperate situation and they cry out to God, being inconsistent. Or they're diagnosed. Will you pray for me? Well, I thought you didn't believe in God, so you're being inconsistent. And people do this in all kinds of different ways. A staunch evolutionist doesn't believe we're just matter. Nothing about life that's important at all. Nothing intrinsic about life. Still goes home at the end of the day and hugs his wife and kisses his kids. Or kisses his kids and hugs his wife. Whatever he does. Right? Plays with them. Or he goes to a funeral and cries and feels sympathy. So that's very inconsistent if you're a staunch evolutionist, if you know what they believe. Right? But we want to point these kinds of things out.